The pandemic continues to hit new highs south of the border, where more than 280,000 people have died from COVID-19, a staggering number. Our Washington Bureau Chief Jackson Prosco joins us now with the latest. Jackson, thank you so much for joining us. Break down how bad the situation is in the U.S. right now, and really what, if anything, is really being done to slow the spread of this.
Good morning to you, Anthony. To put it in perspective for you, in just the first 5 days of this month, first 5 days of December, there were more than 1 million new cases here in the United States. On one day of this weekend alone, there were 30,000 new cases just in the state of California. And so what's so different now from earlier on in this pandemic is the fact that the virus is absolutely everywhere. There is not just one hotspot. The entire country is a hotspot at this point. And hospitals really risk being pushed to or beyond the brink right now. We're seeing more and more states report that their hospitals, their ERs, their ICUs are absolutely maxed out. They're opening field hospitals. They're pleading with people to stay home. Some states like California have returned to stay-at-home restrictions and stay-at-home orders in some specific counties. There's also still just as much pushback taking place in many states, and many places still refusing mask orders, refusing to shut down bars and restaurants. And so there is no cohesive national strategy. Nothing has really changed from the early days of the pandemic in terms of trying to bring this under control. And if anything, the White House and outgoing President Donald Trump have effectively gone silent at this point. They're not taking a leadership role in trying to slow this down or control it.
In the lame duck period as it is. And one of those individuals who was, recently tested positive is the personal lawyer for the president, Rudy Giuliani. Talk about that and his condition.
Yeah, and this sort of speaks, Anthony, I think, to the idea that there are two worlds when it comes to the coronavirus in this country. There's the world where it's taken seriously, and there's the world where it's not. And more often than not, that second world is the orbit of President Donald Trump. We've seen dozens of people connected either directly to the White House or his campaign now test positive. And as you mentioned, Rudy Giuliani is the latest. He is hospitalized here in Washington, D.C. We don't have any specific updates on his condition. He did tweet overnight that he is doing well. All last week, Giuliani was traveling across the country as he works to overturn the election results, and he was appearing in packed rooms, often without a mask, surrounded by people who themselves were not wearing masks. And there's video of him as late as Thursday walking around, hugging people, shaking hands in the Georgia state legislature. The Trump campaign says it will not be undertaking any sort of contact tracing or notification for people who came into contact with Giuliani in recent days, because they say he only started showing symptoms yesterday.
Yeah, the hundreds, if not thousands of people he exposed as a result. I mean, that is something to watch, of course, as well.